Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I organize my binders for school. So this is one of my binders that I'm going to be using for the next semester that's coming up. This is going to be one of my classes that I'm going to be taking. It's called Medical Office Procedures. Now I'm not sure how heavy this class is going to be, but this is the typical binder size that I'm just using at the beginning, and inside of it has my course outline to like how the course is, credits towards it, and the outcome, and it has the grading system in it as well, and the information about that specific course. Then here I have these printables that I got from this website. All those printables that I have and I will be showing will be in my description of where I got them. They are free of charge, so that's a great thing about this, and they're so convenient because they help your organization for school so much easier when you have an overview of like the month or just like the year itself. So I have this, and we're going to start from September because that's when I go back to school. September to December. This area I will be using strictly for this specific class. So I'll be using like dot stickers on these on the important dates, so I know that there's something due for this specific class on that day. And that's what I'll be doing. Now I don't have my outline or my information for the syllabus and stuff like that yet because it's still very early. Once I get it, I will organize it how it needs to be. Next page is an overview of the month. Now this is September when I start school. So September to December is a semester. So everything that's due in this class will be written down on this. And I have printables from September to December here. And even though I might have other classes that might have like sharing dates with like tests and exams and stuff, I would know that I have an overlap of some type of class just because I have the information already written down in my agenda with what is going to be due on that day. So this is just to separate the classes so I don't get confused, but at the same time I do know when I will have a class that has two things due on the same specific day. So that's also convenient for me, this type of method. Going over to this page, this is a to-do list, and what I do for this page, I write down everything that's due for the whole course. Sometimes if it's not just one page of items that I need to have on, that I need to complete, it will get more of these printables and I will write them. And what's nice is it has a space for you to write the due date and also the task, and even an extra space at the end, and you could just tick it off when you finished it, which is amazing. It keeps you on track for the whole semester. Next page, I have some daily schedule sheets. I printed these out from Blue Sky and they're really convenient. If you're a person that likes to write your schedule out from like certain hours of the day, this is like an hourly thing. So it has from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. at the bottom here. And it also has water consumption, so you could choose if you drank enough water for the day, which is so neat, and your top priority, so you could put in the 3 boxes over there. And then also right here, a to-do list and some extra notes. So I really find these convenient, so I print out a lot of them, and I have more in my drawer in case I run out of these. So I have, right now I just kept 2 in here. Second part is a syllabus. So again, like certain classes will have different units towards the course. So this is great. This is a great printout for that. This one has 4 modules, and sometimes I double print them because I have a lot of modules in my classes, and then I just put white out and just write like other numbers then up to 4. And it's really good because like you know exactly what areas you talked about the certain thing. So it's really convenient. So in case you have like a pop-up quiz and you're like, okay, anything from week 2 to 4, we're gonna have a pop quiz on, and then those specific units, he might not go into detail about it, but because you were organized, you would have which module were in which areas. So you'll know which handouts were in which areas, which is really convenient. And I also use this strategy for medical terminology, which is a class that I'm in currently right now. It's going to be done soon, so I have double of this. Then when you get to here, I always have a table of contents because it just shows which area has what in it. So the red tab would be week 1, week 2, up to like 10 I have in this, but I also have up to 20 in my other container in the drawers. But the thing is, I only have 10 weeks here. I will add how much weeks the course is when I get the outline to see how much weeks it is. But this is really convenient because then you know, okay, this is the order of my binder. So if I just wanted to look at this page, I know, okay, let me go to green because green is the 3rd unit or whatever. And this is so convenient. That's why I like to use these number dividers. It helps so much with weeks and you spreading out your work within the weeks, which is awesome. Next thing you need to have in your binders are these dividers. Now I only have this amount right now because I'm not sure of how much stuff we're going to do in this specific class yet. Make sure when you have these, you write clearly what exactly is needed in the spaces with the paper tabs that they give you. And it's really convenient because you'll know, yes, that's week 1, but what did we this week? You could have that here, and then you could also know exactly what was in that specific week, which is great. And I always have dividers in everything to separate stuff. If you're in the medical field like how I'm doing, make sure you also have a clinical binder just so that it's separate from all your other binders. And if you are a person that's going to be using one binder method for all your classes, be careful with that just because you're not sure if there's going to be one class that is heavier than the other class. It also helps you when you know that you might not have that class every day, but do you really want to be walking around with a all your courses every time when you don't have that specific course? That's the only reason why I don't use one binder for all my classes, just because it is heavy, and to walk around with extra weight if you're not even using that is a pain. And I know in college you have to pay for your lockers in college. It's not like when you're in high school or like any grade lower than that. You have to pay for like almost everything in college. It is a pain because you have to rent your lockers. So if you're a person that knows that you're probably staying on campus, sure you only have I would do the one binder per one class method, just because you don't have to bring that extra weight around with you, and all your notes will be in a specific binder, which is nice, and you could just grab what you need at that time. So that's why I really enjoy using that method. So again, I talked about this also in my school supplies haul. This is really important, guys. It helps protect your paper all the time, and I can't stress not having it because again, you don't even need a hole puncher because this is already a hole punch. All you need to do is put the handout inside, and that's what I like to do. And on the back, I have these papers. These ones are heavy duty 5-star paper, so they're thicker than the average paper, just because I write with a lot of markers sometimes, or gel pens, and I know that sometimes gel pens bleed through your papers, so if it's too thin, so I always get extra heavy duty paper, just so that. Also too, this is important to have in your binder. Some people don't really like putting paper at the back of their binders, but I really think you should have paper somewhere in your binder, just because for those classes that are not going to have a lot of note taking, you need at least some paper in case they have now and then. And for notebooks, only use notebook. It's going to only be needed for a class that has a lot of note taking, because again, notebooks can be very pricey, and you don't want to waste a notebook for a class that you thought had a lot of writing in it, and then it happened to be a couple sheets were used, and then you end up not using that notebook. Have paper in all your binders just in case, and use notebooks only for classes that have a lot of note taking. Also with notebooks, if you know that your classes is in different module, you might want to get the more than one subject notebook, even though it's a one subject class, just because you could divide your notes into what areas that were taught or talked about in that specific class. So that's how I do my note taking as well. Lined paper prevents wasting notebooks because you don't want to waste paper or a notebook. You weren't sure about the course if there's a lot of writing or not. So that's just my little way of how I organize my binder. And I'm just going to show you guys the front. This is another printable, and I just colored around some random stuff. Again, with the dividers too, they should have categories in your class. It should have a place for assignments, tests, quizzes, and homework section in your binder, so you could figure that out how you want to put your binder together. And I'm just giving you guys an example of how mine is. And some people might have a style to what binders, the color code of binders they get. So some people might get only white binders or all navy binders. Make sure you your front so that it doesn't look the same, so that you don't pick up the wrong binder, because that's the worst. You don't want to pick up the wrong binder. Make sure you have a title page, and also make sure you have like a little strip in the spine stating what that course is, so that you do not pick up the wrong binder. And what I use folders for are just to hold work that are completed, so I only put them in here if I know that they're just going to be a temporary home until I hand them into the teacher for each class. So I have its own spot instead of taking my backpack, wasting time opening my binder and taking something out. This is just a temporary area for my assignments and projects that I will be handing into the teacher in case there's a project that's done and she wants us to hand it in. Then that's why I have a temporary hold for that. So that's what I use my folders for. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Bye.